If perhaps fortune takes you down the wrong alley in a New York backstreet, perhaps you'll stumble across the Hideout. This is a fully realized playable space for you and your friends to hang out, explore, and create carnage together whilst waiting for a game of Deadlock, an amazing new addition. Simply put, the Hideout is beautiful, but there's much more darkness and secrecy to its underbelly. And I, your host, Jacky Powers, will guide you through 25 secrets that I've uncovered here in Deadlock's Hideout. Don't forget to subscribe to Dead Air if you haven't already to get some amazing Deadlock content. But we've barely scratched the surface of this Hideout Secrets video, so let's kick it off with number 1, the clock. Did you know that the clock in the Hideout will display your current PC system time? Or, if you join a party, this will instead reflect Valve time, aka Seattle time. Number 2, the chimes. The clock also has some very interesting sound effects and will flash and ding, making a ticking sound every 60 seconds. Alongside that, it'll also chime the amount of hours in chimes every hour. Let's take the camera outside though and move away from the inner belly of the Hideout for now. What's lurking out in this fully rendered play space? Well, you can find the out of bounds man. If you don't know about this hidden little oddity, I'll show you where you can find it and just exactly what it is. Lurking down here in the far backhand right corner of the outside skybox, you'll find this interesting grayscale version of info_player_start. I imagine Valve was using this in some sort of scaling capacity to figure out how to make this force perspective skybox work and give you the best view for the menu, opening segment, and just from the Hideout view in general. This out of bounds character is way past the def barrier though, so if you want to check him out with no clip, I'd recommend getting cheat def to give yourself some time to actually inspect the details in the area. It's a bit of a weird one and probably just a leftover, and I imagine at some point this guy might disappear. But something that will never disappear from the eyeline are the giant pigeons. You can see the before and after comparison of the older and newer pigeon models here. Of course, these are used prominently in the opening main menu sequence and through the window view of the Hideout, so I guess Valve realised they needed to make them a little bit bigger, give them some new details, and now they really are substantially large. Is this some sort of new spawn of gigantic pigeon that's roaming the streets of the Cursed Apple? Could be the case. If so, it comes up to the legs and knees of most heroes, even Vindicta. So be worried, they're probably worth quite a lot of souls, the damn size of those ghostly pigeons. Let's move back inside though, where as a quick glance you can see the Gloom Bomb skull nestled away inside one of these bookcases here, sat cozy, with its glance looking over towards a snow globe. Of course, number 5, the 2024 winter event snow globe. This was awarded if you participated in the winter event. It was dropped on us late one Christmassy night when Yoshi posted in the Discord and allowed everyone to start earning skins. No one really knew how you earn these skins at the time, and it was a bit of a community feat to figure it all out. If you unlocked even one of those skins though, you should have this trophy marking your achievement progress during that seasonal event. If you didn't get to play it, there was actually quite a few cool additions to the map and gameplay with new boxes, themed camps, you had the update to the shop, and even this snow globe. I like this little guy. Maybe we'll get him for this year. I'd like to have the addition of a little snowman up top on my mantelpiece. Opens a lot of doors for future achievements to be shown off here though. Very cool from Valve. Below that, there's another honourable mention. Even the fireplace seems to be vampiric by aesthetic, as it features these fangs and looks quite ghastly. Moving on, remembering the old ghastly Halloween event. Of course, this was Deadlock's first attempt at a seasonal event for the game, and it was actually a really cool one. If you didn't get to play it, being back in October of 2024, you missed out on a few key details. We had pumpkins all over the place, in multiple different sizes, with some fun animations and unique sounds when you destroyed them. You also had these random masks that would be given to your characters whenever you joined a game. It was quite fun and just a nice little detail. It was a start to Deadlock dabbling into more and more events. Now, of course, we've already had 3 of them, with the Halloween, holiday, and now the hero release event. Been pretty awesome to see the development of Deadlock's live narrative storytelling. You can see another honourable mention here as well, where potentially we'll get to place our trophies, maybe display other achievements we'll unlock in-game in the future. The walls inside of the hideout are absolutely littered with depictions and paintings of various different characters or archetypes that you'd imagine will exist within Deadlock's universe. You can find images of viscounts, vampires, vicious sieges on castles, and even a violently cute cat that's wearing an eye patch. He's potentially my favourite. There's also mermaids, goat heads, all sorts of references to various things we've seen within Deadlock's gameplay. But did you notice this one key detail? This one is all about Mo and Krill. Just above the fireplace within the hideout's main area seems to be a depiction of an evolution or some sort of occult forced upgrade to moles. This seems to be practice, with it being documented here under the mole family name. Maybe this gives us more credence to understanding where exactly Mo and Krill's partnership will come from as their lore begins to get more and more fleshed out. Having a closer look at the paintings in this room though, there's another interesting secret. Number 8, the person in the painting. If you put this one under the microscope, you can quite quickly see that it was painted within this very room. The fireplace, chair, and candlestick are all referenced within the image. Whoever this person is seems to have access to the hideout at some point and had a self-portrait drawn of them. Is this some sort of vampire den? Only they know what lurks in the shadows. But that's enough about this area. Let's move on from the living room and head through the armory into the practice range. This is where we will uncover many hidden interactions with the Ava lookalike, the small spirit cat that you can find hiding out in this back room, giving us our next secret, the hattrick. Did you know that it's possible to knock this ball that will spawn in on loop within to the bounds of the teleporter? Upon doing this 3 times back to back, a rabbit will spawn in from the teleporter and begin to play with the cat. This of course is a double-barreled reference, a hattrick meaning a hat rabbit being pulled out within the bounds in some sort of magic trick capacity, or just from a game of football scoring 3 goals back to back. That also takes us on to our next secret, the owls. I'm sure you've quickly realised that the owls that fly around the practice range will incrementally spawn in the more of them that you take down, acting as some sort of aim trainer, even displaying the count of how many of them have spawned in rather than your damage. Moving on, let's have a look at number 11, chasing the ball. Usually, when knocking this ball around with a heavy melee or from shooting at it, the small cat will chase it, sit on top of it, and even bap it about themselves. Quite a fun little hidden interaction that you'll start to slowly discover just naturally from your time spent in the hideout. But did you know about these more secret hero interactions? Let's check out Vindicta's ultimate, serving here as a laser pointer toy. I found this on the internet and it served me very well in making my cat far more active. That's a review from Bebop. You can see that this is a great little Easter egg and a fun interaction that Val hid away. Did you know that you could also change into Ava yourself when playing as Calico, and the cat will become enamored with you, following around Ava, sprinting, pouncing towards you, and generally just sitting down next to Ava as well if you park up somewhere. Pretty cool if you want to get some nice screenshots or just make the hideout a bit more cozy when waiting for games. In at number 14 though is the call bell interaction with Doorman. Upon Doorman's release, we were quite quick to realise here at Dead Air that throwing out call bell meant that the small cat in the hideout would sprint towards your bombs as quickly as possible, even in some patches causing issues with detonating the bomb with them just being sat directly on top of it. Moving on from that, number 15 will be the owl interaction with Grey Talon. His ultimate, having the real spirit owl in the hideout now, will result in the cat quickly chasing the trail and attempting to catch up with that owl. But as we crash down, we can show you number 16, the goo cube interaction. Viscous has 2 interactions with the small cat in the hideout, interestingly enough, the first one being his goo cube, in which the cat will sprint to sit on top of it and then bounce off of his head. But in at number 17 there is also the goo ball interaction. When using his ultimate, much like Grey Talon, the cat will rapidly sprint behind Viscous, matching the speed as best they can, whilst you roll around the hideout, leaving goo all over the gaff. There's also one final hero interaction, and this is Rabbit Hex on Sinclair. Henry is able to cast out a Rabbit Hex and turn his opponents or bots inside of the hideout into a big rabbit. Of course, the cat absolutely loves this, as is well known in cat culture. Moving on to number 19, we've got the eyes in the stairs. Floating menacingly within the stairs, you can find this disembodied set of eyeballs. Quite a fun hidden little detail. Once you realise they're there, it's always cool to tell your friends about them, as these eyes are watching over you whenever you're within the front room area of the hideout 24/7, 365 days a year. Moving on though, let's talk about why you have to be invited to join the hideout, in at number 20. Now this one is actually grounded in lore, with Deadlock's ever-expanding cast of new heroes featuring a lot of vampires like Mina or Drifter. It would just be plain rude to allow anyone else to join a hideout just by clicking join. Of course, in vampire culture, it's not allowed for them to enter a building or personal space without a direct invitation. That's why you must be invited to join a party in Deadlock. The hideout, though, is home to many different inhabitants. As you can see, there's still multiple shades that walk its halls. At one point, however, there was even more ghosts within its bounds. We can have a look back at how the hideout was during the hero voting event. You can see here that every hero that was going to be added to the game would be manifested within the hideout as a shade of their character. Slowly but surely, they would all disappear from the hideout as they were voted in and added to the game, taking one coffee and one donut with them as they entered Deadlock's roster. This is how it looked when you were able to vote for heroes back during the event when the hideout was released on August 19th of 2025. Very pretty with donuts and coffee for everyone. You can see how it looks afterwards though, with just mere rubble and stains left behind, and of course some I voted stickers reminding you of your participation in the event. The statistics on this one were interesting too, with Billy winning by far with the largest lead at over 30% at his time of addition to Deadlock. Page and Doorman though, well, that was the closest contest, with it being a 0.85% difference in favour of the Doorman when he won his vote. For now, let's refocus our lens and adjust our vision over towards the projection room. Of course, located in the back left-hand side of the hideout, you can find our 20-second secret. This one is the projector itself. They've gone ahead and reused the same technology on Source 2 that can be found within CS Office in Counter-Strike 2, where your character model will physically block the projection and cast a shadow behind it. A nice detail there. Moving on, let's discuss our 23rd secret, the animal carpets that are underneath your feet, littered all over the hideout. These are particularly interesting, and I think do have some visual storytelling tied to a few of them, with lots of depictions of various animals that are commonly seen within Deadlock's universe, be it on some of the map geometry or even within heroes' kits. This one almost looking like a reference to Judy from Twin Peaks as well. There's a lot of cool Easter eggs or particularly just details that are worked into these carpets, so I think they're certainly worth having a look and definitely worth a mention within this list. Our next secret is more of an oddity, the Baroness bug. That glow that you can see coming from the window outside of the hideout practice range is the blue glow of the Baroness. This is because the lighting is clipping through the wall, projecting it into areas it's not supposed to be. Valve, please fix. We'll see if that one disappears, but if you want to disappear to surprise your friends, you can hide behind this bookcase. And finally, we end up at Secret 25, the fortune teller herself. Of course, this is an interesting new character that's been added to the Hideout. The fortune teller has a few key details and seems to be missing an eye, but not much is known about why or who this character is. What do you think? Let us know your theories down below. Well, there you have it. Deadlock's latest update brings so much intrigue and mystery, and the Hideout is jam-packed full of it. 25 tidbits of factoids that will live on in your head rent-free here from Dead Air. As always, I'm your host, Jacky Powers. Of course, you can find much more Deadlock content on our channel. For now, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.